Hi, everybody. This is Kevin Hebblethwaite, President of SMPS, and I'm joined today on the line by Cricket Robertson, who is with DLR Group in Phoenix, Arizona. Cricket, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kevin?
Just fine, just fine. Hey, I'm so glad you were able to talk with me today a little bit about putting together justification for going to build business. As you might guess, that's a very important topic to me. And you told me a little bit about your story and said that you were willing to share it. So in terms of your conference attendance, tell us a little bit about how you went about putting that justification together.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to thank you very much for agreeing to speak with me. It's fantastic. What I did, this is actually the second year that I put together this justification, and I actually got the idea to do it last spring when I was actually talking with Barbara Shuck. But the company I'm with, as with most companies with the economy today, the expenditure for national is a significant amount of money, and so I kind of needed a little bit of backup to walk in and ask for $1,000 to attend conference. So
sure.
my proposal initially for the actual cost section was for my company to pay the registration fee minus the CPSM day face value and my time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I would actually take one PTO day for travel on Tuesday, and then I will pay hotel and food and all the travel expenses. And then kind of what I did above and beyond that, the reason that I agreed or proposed to do the CPSM day and the travel is to kind of show that I had skin in the game, and that I just wasn't looking for a free travel week or a free time to go off and play, but that I'm willing to invest in this also.
And right, by doing CPSM day, that's a whole day extra of education, continuing ed, right?
Yes, and being a CPSM, we'll take all the CEUs we can get.
Sure.
So, and then I took it in the proposal itself, and I took an additional step and went through all of the schedule and actually picked out which sessions I was going to attend and why I chose that session, and then kind of like a return on investment situation. Okay, this is what I learned, and then this is what it's going to help me, how it's going to help me be better at my job. When I show back up on Monday, how can I make my job better as soon as I walk in that door on Monday? And going through and literally outlining everything. And I also, when I handed in, the proposal, also gave them the whole program for the whole conference so they could see some of the other options. And in case they didn't necessarily, not necessarily agree is not quite the right word, but if they would prefer me attend a different session, at the time, they can at least see, why I chose or why I'm thinking to attend the one. But if they would prefer me to attend another, I still have, gave them that option. So again, since they're paying for it, I figured if they would rather me attend a different session, I'll do that as well.
I love that. A little bit of advanced planning never hurts, right?
Never. It has. It worked last conference, and it came in very handy. And the way I did it last conference also is I actually shared a room with, actually happened to be our president here in Arizona, but probably 9 out of the 10 sessions we attended different sessions. So it actually doubles the ROI because I can attend one session, she attended another one, and then we can compare notes and handouts, and we're getting double the information for the price of just one conference.
Now, I'm very interested, when you put that initial proposal together and sort of picked out which sessions you thought would be most beneficial, what was the reaction and response from your firm's leadership and management about how you had thought through that?
They actually were quite impressed, and I will admit, last conference there were a couple of sessions that I wanted to attend personally, but there were like the healthcare the healthcare panel last conference. The company I was with last year were huge into the healthcare market, so I actually chose to attend that because that had a more direct impact on my position than the session that I wanted to attend. So I think they really appreciated me putting in that thought, and it did, I think, even improved my showing that I had skin in the game of, I'm not just doing this for me, but making me smarter and better at my job is better for the company as well.
I love that. Excellent. Now, you had mentioned also something about part of your proposal related to the keynote speakers and the resources that they have. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. The speaker for conference last year was, and I can't believe I just forgot his name, but the gentleman who wrote Water the Bamboo. And I actually read the book prior to attending conference, and it actually helped because I walked into conference kind of with having that knowledge and was able to tie it into, although he only had one keynote, he actually did have a follow-up session, but so much of conference was kind of wrapped around that, Water the Bamboo principles, and knowing that walking in helped me kind of tie all those pieces together. And although I haven't yet read Dan Clark's book for this coming conference, that was part of my proposal this year as well, was to read that book prior to attending conference, to kind of get a little bit more out of his session, having his background and kind of knowing where he's coming from, and that perspective I think helps you get so much more out of conference.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned Dan Clark's book, which is The Art of Significance. That has just come out. It's just, I think it hit the shelves barely a month ago, maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago. And I love that idea of, again, a little advanced preparation. Not that we have endless time, of course, but to know where that speaker's coming from his or her current material, and then really being able to make the most of your time there in order to bring those concepts back to the firm, back to the office, and certainly back to your chapter, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. Hey, do you have any sort of closing thoughts or recommendations for those who are either wanting or needing to put this kind of a justification together from a 30,000-foot level?
Probably just two pieces of information. One, there is a link on the national site about all the justification. There's a letter from Ron Worth on that link, and I believe it's pretty easy to find once you're on the Build Business homepage. But there is that letter from Ron. There is kind of like an ROI basically of all of the cost of the face value versus the actual like hard cost versus kind of the value of if you were to buy individual sessions, how much you're saving by doing a full conference registration versus if you had to spend money for each individual session. That's a great resource. And then, second of all, probably, take it the next step further, and like I have some action items for when I get back from conference of, how am I going to share that information that I've learned, not only with my own Phoenix marketing group, but across my whole company nationwide, and how different strategies that I have to bring that information back and share that. And my plan is to write an article for the marketer, develop a conference tool to not only be used for marketing conferences, but for the technical conferences and the ROI, and taking those lessons learned and actually improving my value with the company that way as well. Great comments. And for anybody else who might like to see some of those resources online, you can simply go to Build Business, all one word, buildbusiness.org. And you can navigate to the About Build Business section of the site to see some of the items and resources that Cricket mentioned. Well, we're signing off for today. Cricket, thanks so much for your comments, and we'll see you in Orlando. Great. Thank you so much, Kevin. I look forward to seeing you.
Thanks.